Hey guys, welcome back to the newest episode of the OPETHIAN music theory. Today we're going to be taking a look at the song Leper Affinity off of Blackwater Park. And I just want to go through the different sections, as we always do. Here is verse number 1. We're essentially loosely in E for this, but as you can see from the analysis, they don't stay in E, and they're not even well grounded in E to begin with. So what you just heard there was verse number 1. We're doing a series of chords. The first chord is an E5 power chord that goes directly into like an E Phrygian triad, which an E Phrygian triad would essentially be a root, flat 2, and fifth, right? So we have E, we have the flat 2 and F, and then we have the B. So that would essentially be a Phrygian triad. It's not the most attractive sound, but they throw it in there in that opening section and it works. Following that chord, or those chords, are the chords F augmented and D augmented. And what's really cool about those two chords is the F augmented is voiced C sharp F A. Let's try that again. C sharp F A, and then the D augmented is voiced D F sharp A sharp. All right, now what's really cool about that is that the notes are essentially a half step away. The C sharp becomes a D, the F becomes an F sharp, and the A becomes an A sharp. So we kind of have like chromatic neighbors, so to speak, making it for a very easy transition, especially on guitar where you just have to slide either up or down. So example number 1 of how they're just kind of throwing things together. It works, it's metal, they have great tone, and they're going for a specific vibe. It's dark, it's mysterious. Let's move on to the chorus. The chorus is doing G sharp octaves. Let's bring this up for you real quick here. Here is the chorus. So the chorus starts off, we're doing a lot of octaves here. We're doing a series of octave G sharps to a really unusual voicing of an E major chord that quickly jumps to octave Bs and then octave B flats. So we're kind of outlining the E major key here with the E major dyad followed by the G sharp octaves, which is the major third, into the B, which is the fifth, and of course the B flat is the tritone, and we can't have an OPETH song without a tritone, so that's where that comes in. We're going to move into verse number 3 here. Here's what it sounds like. This might be the best part of the song. All right, this verse is using quite the interesting collection of notes. We're still basically rooted in E. There's a B flat, there's an E flat, a G, and a G sharp. So we're kind of doing, I'd like to think of this as almost being, it's got the chromatic median vibe to it because we're doing an E with a G sharp, and then we're doing an E flat with a G. So chromatic in the sense that we're moving just a half step in either direction to get the two different dyads, the E major and the E flat major. But those notes are all interwoven there. The E and the E flat are neighbors, and then the G and the G sharp are neighbors. But if you had to make sense of it, I would say E flat major to E major. And it has that chromatic median idea because it's using the chromaticism and going up or down. It's not actually a median chord in this case. But very interesting section. Let's move along to the coda. There it is. Let's hear it one more time. This goes by so quick. Here we go. So it's essentially it's the end of the solo. It's like a tail, and it's very unique. I dissected all the notes. We're dealing with an F diminished triad for this. So the notes are F, G sharp, and B over and over and over and over as they climb up through the high notes and go onto the higher strings. 9/8 time makes it stand out, makes it different, allows it to be a little bit longer. And the F diminished triad is really cool to do something like this on because number one, the diminished chord sounds very unique. Number two, all those notes are a very strange distance apart from each other. So, and by strange I mean minor thirds. I don't know why I said strange. They're all minor thirds apart. So you get the minor sound, but it's also the diminished quality. So it's one hell of a section. And how it fits into the song itself, I mean, going back to the intro, we had the E to the E Phrygian triad. So I kind of feel like they're just bringing out that F once again. They like to use all those half steps. This is heavy metal after all. All right, one more section. Here we go. All right, the last section we're going to take a look at is the pre-verse number 2. And let's just take a listen first and foremost. Here we go. So then those are all single notes until you get to the end of the phrase where they throw in 2 F tritones back to back. That's where you get that dissonance. Not only are you dealing with a note that is like the Phrygian flat 2 away from E, which is where most of this sits, but it's also containing the tritone of itself. So there's a lot of dissonance going on in this song. If anybody has any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you'd like to support my work, please buy me a coffee. Link in the description. Leave a comment. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you like metal. And thank you all for watching. Take care.